changed everything. KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to celebrate Women's History Month, honoring the trailblazers, truth tellers, and game changers who shaped our world, our culture, and our community. From the freedom fighters to the firsts, from the boardroom to the front lines, from the unsung to the unforgettable. All month long, we're celebrating the stories, the voices, and the conversations that remind us that women, Black women, have always led the way. Don't miss a moment. This is our moment. This is our story. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580, Los Angeles' home for the conversations that matter.
I'm your girl, you're my girl, we're your girls. Won't you know that we love you?
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule. 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not too unserious. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First Black on Talk Radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DePrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. With hopes that Black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the move. So we tune in to First Things First with the Queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DePrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. What's up? Good morning. God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima. This show is called First Things First. And my first thing today and every day is prayer. Simply prayer, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. We got a lot to do. We got a lot to talk about. So much going on around here. So this is how we do things on Mondays. We call it Mindful Monday. Mindful Monday because Sahara Ali joins us an hour or two to help us get our head on straight for the week that will be. And these days it's more important than ever. We do a guided meditation and affirmation and some astrological insights. And then we open up the phone lines as per usual for national, international, and beyond. In the third hour, we do a deep dive with a person or persons of interest. A hot topic today is both. We'll be talking with Chantel Allen of Black Lives Matter Twin Cities, Black Lives Matter Grassroots, the Twin Cities chapter. She is also one of the people that was the very, very first to initiate the Target boycott. So it'll be interesting to hear her thoughts about that, about what's going on now on the ground in Minnesota, and, of course, her own legal. I don't know how much she can say about that, but she was one of those folks that was snatched up by the infamous Pam Bondi. Then, right now is hour one, and my friend and colleague is on the phone. She is the host of This Is Not a Drill, Saturday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580. She is a professor at Cal State LA, professor of Pan-African Studies, also a political scientist. She is my colleague and the director of Black Lives Matter Grassroots, lead organizer for Black Lives Matter Los Angeles, and international president of the Prince Fan Club, Dr. Melina Abdullah. Good morning.
Hey, I love how I'm now international president.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Now it's making me think of a Prince song, International Lover of Prince.
Of course it does. Well, we had an amazing day yesterday. Black women are divine. I've been talking about it, but the people that are part of our KBLA delegation are familiar with Black women are divine. this the fifth year, sixth year? What year are we in?
Sixth year. Sixth year.
Sixth year, yeah. Thanks to everyone who came out.
Yeah. Yeah, it was beautiful. Thank you to you for hosting it. It was just an amazing day. And you host every year. Aloe Black was there, as he is every year. And just hundreds of women in the park having a perfect day. And God smiled on us this year, as has been the case every year as well. And for the first time, here is a first this year. Breonna Taylor's mother joined us. Normally, her aunt joins us every year, but her mother joined us as well this year. So it was just a blessing to have Sister Tamika Palmer also there with us.
Yeah, it was. She's really a really nice woman, and very not long-winded, but it was beautiful because I feel like by us being in our sixth year, so many women have been to Black Women Are Divine before and know what to expect, and the men too. The men, stepping up and setting everything up, breaking it down, doing all of the labor, as you say, and letting the women chill and relax and enjoy being celebrated. And so the lunch was delicious from Harold and Bells, and the music was great. I mean, we had a lot of acts this year, a lot of bands and poets and folks doing a sound bath, sound healing, and line dancing. All of those people donating their time to just pour love into Black women. It's a pretty extraordinary kind of vibe.
It is. And we had 8 massage therapists this year. So there was no shortage of massage therapy. There was acupuncture. There was a freedom dreaming session that Dr. Tabitha Jones-Jolivet led. It was just incredible. And people came. There was a sister there, Sister Connie, whose birthday it was. And I should have gotten to the stage to ask you to announce it. It was her 88th birthday.
Oh, wow.
And she had all these options that her daughters offered her. And she chose to come and celebrate her birthday with us.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
She had 3 daughters there. And, yeah, she turned 88. She didn't look a bit over 68, but she was turning 88.
That's amazing. Yeah, and they were doing double dutch out there. They were line dancing up a storm. I interviewed Charlie B. Real on Friday to, kind of promote him performing at Black Women Are Divine and learn about his career. And he was great. He had never performed at Black Women Are Divine. He brought his whole family and sang for us and played the guitar for us. So that was dope. The Privilege, I had never heard them before. They're twins, and they kind of do rock and roll soul vibe. And that was amazing. So it was really a good day. It was a great day, actually.
It was a great day, and the brothers did step up. I think sometimes we think that, we have to pour in our work, and we kind of say, we say that we're not going to do anything or pay anything, and this time we actually did not. That when Miranda came early to try to help, they told her to go sit down somewhere.
Yeah, it was a bunch of men up there breaking stuff up, setting stuff. They were really they figured it out too. They were like, oh, no, this is the day where, no, you're not helping. And we're doing everything. And they were kind of almost scary how efficient they were, right? Breaking down those chairs and everything. At the end of it, we couldn't even run late.
Yeah, I know. We couldn't even run late. That was funny. But it was also really great that they did things that brothers don't normally do, right? So the setup and breakdown is kind of what we consider a man job, but serving food.
Yeah.
Helping at the children's village, and the children's village was popping, I hear.
Yeah, it was so many kids. It was like
so many kids.
Kids all day painting signs, kids, playing and just having a good time.
Flying kites.
Yeah.
Flying kites. When's the last time you saw a preteen Black boy running in a park, flying a kite. What joy, what beauty. You know, it was beautiful.
For me, one of my favorite moments was watching the brothers climb the tree to get one of the kids' kites down that had got snared in the tree. I mean, that's peak Black love right there.
That's right. That's right.
So,
and Medusa came for the first year.
Oh my gosh, wasn't she amazing?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I followed her for years. Never met her. I used to teach. I told her I used to teach her. Then I was like, well, I didn't teach you, but I taught your music in my hip hop class. And, you know, she was kind of larger than life for me. And to have her there and have her perform and have her be so warm. And her DJ was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Another sister was on the ones and twos. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And everybody gifted their time. Nobody charged us anything.
Yeah, the gangsta goddess, Medusa. She's done my show a long, long time ago, and over the years I've seen her perform a lot. But you can see why people stick around, right? She's one of the originators of hip hop, period. Like, she's one of the pioneers. They also call her the Angela Davis of hip hop. She's been there for decades, but she's also always been conscious. She's always been an educator. And you can see those road miles on the mic. I call them microphone miles, where she just has mastery. It was fun to watch artists checking out our artists too, because, Aloe Black up there, being a fan of his wife, Maya Jupiter when she performed, and Maya and Aloe watching, The Privilege. All the artists, you could tell where everybody was watching Medusa. You could tell that there was just that vibe of like, it's a rare moment in LA where we're just relaxing and everybody is there just for the cause, which is supporting, Black Lives Matter grassroots and supporting Black women on that day, the anniversary of the murder of Breonna Taylor, which was Friday, and it's always the Sunday closest to that.
Yeah, I loved how every time we spoke of Breonna, the breeze blew. It was just magical and an affirmation. It was divine. Magical is not the right word. It was divine. Every time we spoke Breonna's name, there was a breeze.
Yeah. Well, if you missed it, you can, plan for next year, or go check out everybody's social media. Go to BLM Grassroots or go to Doc Melly Mel, and I'll do my best to try to do better. As far as posting, yeah, it was really great day. It was a busy, crazy weekend, and we've got a lot to unpack in the week ahead. Of course, big event, but that doesn't mean that the work stops.
That's right. And thank you again, Dominique. You bring your energy every year, and we're so grateful.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's, it's one of those community events that has all the stuff. It's community, it's fun, it's funny. So I enjoyed the day for sure. We're going to continue this conversation. We're going to see what's going on around here on the left coast. We're going to see what Black Lives Matter LA has in store for us this week, and what's going on here in LA, because election season is also officially underway, and we got to pay attention. It's going to be here in a second and a half. So we'll do all that when we continue on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Old-fashioned soul.
Where you eating at? Hi, I'm Greg Doolin, inviting you to a special celebration of Women's History Month. Join KBLA Talk 1580 for its annual symposium, The State of Black Women in LA. broadcast live from Doolin Soul Food on Crenshaw. Friday, March 27th, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., moderated by Dominique DePrima. And yes, breakfast is just $15.80. Come get fed twice. Your stomach and your mind will thank you. We'll see you Friday morning, March 27th, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. at Doolin Soul Food on Crenshaw for the State of Black Women in LA. Broadcast live only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now they get some soul food.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Okay, Doc, I got to ask you to put on your political science hat for a moment here. We do have a consequential race for California governor that is going on right now. The California governor's race is very crowded. Everyone knows that. Well, everyone that's paying attention knows that. 11 people are running for California governor, and we have to vote on this in June. That's right around the corner, believe it or not. Now, the LA State Democratic Party had their meeting a couple of weeks ago, and they decided not to endorse any of the candidates, which is bizarre. I don't know that I remember that happening. Maybe it has, and I wasn't tracking it. The fear is that we'll have 2 Republicans at the top of the ticket because we do have an open primary, meaning that the top 2 vote getters are the candidates in November for the runoff. And there's going to be a runoff. Nobody, even the people they're calling front runners, are not polling no one's polling above 20%. In fact, I think the front runner isn't even at 20%. In most polling, they're around 18, 19% or less. So there's no clear front runner at this point. And the Democratic Party has said we're not going to endorse anybody as of yet. So that's where we are on that. But meanwhile, they've called for candidates. Rusty Hicks, who is the chair of the California State Democratic Party, has called for some of the candidates to step down, to get out of the race, which is what I've been saying since, a couple months ago. But when I said some candidates need to get out of the race, I didn't mean all the candidates of color and let's only have white candidates left. That was not what I had in mind. I was thinking, you can go based on who's polling where, but I was thinking perhaps Democrats could act like they were grown folks and have a conference among themselves where they would decide who would drop out and who would stay in. Well, that hasn't happened as of yet. And what's ending up happening what's ending up happening is that the candidates of color are being pressured now to get out of the race. Every single one of them. In fact, for the upcoming gubernatorial debate, ABC has taken it upon itself to only invite the white candidates. Now, they say it's based on their criteria. They slice, dice, whatever, and it doesn't, that none of the Black or Latino candidates, including the former Health and Human Services Secretary, qualify for their debate. It's interesting that a newcomer to the race who has very tiny polling numbers, San Jose's mayor, is on that debate, and maybe it has something to do with his deep pockets in fundraising, but does seem highly suspect. How are you viewing this right now, Dr. Abdullah? You know, the governor's race, if the Democratic Party of the state has their way, and if the formulas of companies like ABC7 are followed, there will be only white people left in a race that would be to represent a state which has huge Black and Latino numbers.
This is absolutely indicative of how traditional politics works and why we have to disrupt politics as usual. We have to disrupt the duopoly. We have to say that this cannot be the way, because you're able to buy your way in. If you look at what both Swalwell and Mahan are doing, they're buying their way in. And I said Swalwell too, but Steyer and Mahan, they're both buying their way in. And they're trying to crowd out. When you talked about the former HHS secretary, you're also talking about the former mayor of Los Angeles. You're talking about the current statewide superintendent for public instruction, Tony Thurmond. He has already won statewide office. So the idea that he's not viable is absolutely ridiculous. And the criteria is a criteria that's based on dollars rather than based on the possibility. They're kind of cementing the idea that dollars are the most important thing rather than your ability to get people to buy into your vision. And when we look at Mamdani in New York, he was polling at 1% at the start of that race. Who won that race? He's now Mayor Mamdani.
Yeah, that's a really, really good example. And I know, Rusty Hicks is trying to do what he's got to do to get things narrowed down, because we could end up with two Republicans of the top two, Steve Hilton, who's another rich guy trying to buy his way in, and Chad Bianco, who is an oath keeper and a white supremacist, not even a undercover white supremacist, but I don't know, this is a political science question. Couldn't the Democratic Party convene all of these candidates behind closed doors and do some horse trading so they can get a couple people out without just pushing out all the candidates of color?
They could, but they choose not to, They choose not to.
That's crazy to me. I mean, it just seems crazy to me. But that's where we are, and it looks like if the formulas of folks like ABC that are saying, well, this is our criteria, so sorry, Javier Becerra, sorry, Antonio Villaraigosa, sorry, Betty Yee, that is, it could get it to where it pushes only those folks. I mean, to where the voters aren't even choosing, and even the Democratic Party isn't even choosing, if the media is going to box out all the candidates of color.
Right. Well, I also think this is where our labor unions come in, and you would think that someone like a Rusty Hicks would push on this, right? That our labor unions could decide that, well, we're going to put labor behind candidates that we believe in rather than doing it based on what they consider viability. And so, that's that's also a problem. And I think I'm actually headed up to be with my labor union, which did endorse. So I'm a member of the California Faculty Association. I chair their political action committee. We as a union did a dual endorsement for Tony Thurmond and Javier Becerra, neither of whom will be on that stage if, the powers that be have their way. But we did push that endorsement. And I think that labor needs to, I've said for a while that labor unions are the answer to fascism. And, I think that we need to double down on that, and we need to push politics as usual, push back against politics as usual as labor.
Yeah, I think that's right. I had the honor of hosting the Workers' Congress on Saturday, where about 1,000 labor leaders gather in LA from all over LA County, and they were really fired up, which I've hosted it before 4 years ago. They have it every 4 years. And it wasn't as fired up as it was this weekend. People were really, because of what's happening in our country, people are really fired up. It's the most wild I've seen. Wild, maybe not the word, charged I've ever seen that gathering.
Yeah, well, we have a really powerful and phenomenal president, right? And Yvonne Wheeler, we have a sister president. There's, this, and I think most people know this, there's very few people I will call like my leader or my president, but Yvonne Wheeler is absolutely one of them. And as the president of the LA County Federation of Labor, and I think that she inspires that among membership, that we have a right and a duty and an obligation, especially in times of fascism, to speak out. And then, of course, we have labor leaders like David Huerta, who've been on front lines standing up physically to ICE. Our unions are recognizing that we have a role. We're supposed to not just fight for the salaries and benefits and working conditions of our members, but what unions are all about is also fighting for working class people. And I think that we're beginning to see or remembering that that's the charge of unions, that's the charge of labor, to represent the working class.
Yeah, there was a lot of remembering going on, and it was loud and strong. It gave me another rush of hope. It was a weekend full of hope and great gatherings in the face of terrible evildoers and evil deeds. We'll continue the conversation. You're always invited in, 800-920-1580. News, traffic, and sports, then more. Only right here.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions. This is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. The Film Centers has won Best Original Screenplay at the 98th Academy Awards. Director Ryan Coogler accepted the honor.
I want to thank the Academy for thinking of our movie that came out almost a year ago. This is an incredible honor. I want to thank my fellow nominees. You guys, I want to thank y'all for the gifts that y'all movies were and for y'all friendship over the past years and months.
This is his first Oscar win after 3 nominations this year. Federal executive orders rolling back DEI requirements for agencies and federal contractors are disrupting black hiring pipelines across a dozen major industries. The NAACP and Urban League have issued an emergency advisory urging Congress to launch hearings on what they call a major rollback of 50 years of economic progress. And HBCUs are in a funding crisis as key federal research grants and Department of Education streams freeze, while FAFSA failures disrupt the student pipeline. 10 campuses are now at immediate risk. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Visit Hard Rock Casino Tejon for the $500,000 Luck of the Irish BMW drawing. Drawings every Thursday in March. Hard Rock Casino Tejon, the closest casino to downtown LA. The excitement starts here at the new Hard Rock Casino Tejon.
Is this the This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man. 5 5 straight wins for the Lakers has moved them up to 3rd place in the Western Conference with 15 games left in the regular season. The Lakers are at Houston tonight. The Clippers are at home tonight against San Antonio. No word yet on Kawhi Leonard's status. He sprained his ankle in Saturday's loss to Sacramento. The UCLA women's basketball team joins undefeated UConn, Texas, and South Carolina as the top 4 seeds in the NCAA tournament. UCLA is the number 1 seed in the Sacramento Regional. The Bruins have a first-round game Saturday at Pauley Pavilion against California Baptist, champions of the Western Athletic Conference. The USC women's team got an at-large bid despite losing their last 4 games. USC is the number 9 seed in the Sacramento Regional. The Trojans play Clemson Saturday in Columbia, South Carolina. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
They call it progress, but progress has a price. Land once held in black hands, taken, stolen, erased. Acres paved into highways, fields burned, homes replaced by parking lots and broken promises. Every deed lost was a dream deferred. We talk about millionaires, but what about the millionaires that never were? The farmers whose soil was seized, the families who watched their inheritance disappear, the wealth that never had a chance to grow because its roots were ripped from the ground. They took the land, but never the legacy, because the soil remembers, and so do we. Every story matters. Our mission is to collect, preserve, and amplify these stories. If this is part of your family's history, visit blacklandlost.org/share your story and help bring us closer to justice.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The BLM Center for Black Power is a hub for Black activism in the city of Los Angeles, a standalone nonprofit affiliated with Black Lives Matter LA. The venue is home to live events, meetings, and organizing drives for Black-led community-based organizations. It is also the base of operations for Black Lives Matter LA. Built on what used to be a nuisance property owned by an arms dealer, the BLM Center for Black Power is in the heart of Leimert Park and has opened its doors to everything from youth organizers to toy drives to film screenings and community town hall meetings. To make a donation or make a request, please visit blmla.org. That's blmla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Dominique DePrima, KBLA Talk 1580 host and African Focus Incorporated cultural ambassador. You probably know by now that every year our 2 organizations team up to lead a trip to the motherland. This June will be our 8th African Focus Trailblazers Tour, and it's not too late to join us. But if you've been thinking of going with us, now is the time to sign on before prices go up. Our current deadline is March 20th. Join us as we travel to a country widely considered one of Africa's most underrated destinations, Zambia, home to the towering Victoria Falls and the bustling capital city, Lusaka. Enjoy a visit to Botswana, known for its pristine natural beauty and stunning southern African wildlife. We travel in comfort with luxury accommodations, a variety of fun activities, and delicious dining. We do service with charitable work at a school and an orphanage, and we expand our horizons with cultural and historical excursions. To sign up now before our March 20th deadline, please call African Focus Incorporated at 310-676-7300. That's 310-676-7300. Or check out africanfocus.org. Whether it's in the community or traveling the globe, we move as family. African Focus and KBLA Talk 1580. Let's go. Hi, I'm Dominique DePrima, KBLA Talk 1580 host and African Focus Incorporated cultural ambassador. You probably know by now that every year our 2 organizations team up to lead a trip to the motherland. This June will be our 8th African Focus Trailblazers Tour, and it's not too late to join us. But if you've been thinking of going with us, now is the time to sign on before prices go up. Our current deadline is March 20th. Join us as we travel to a country widely considered one of Africa's most underrated destinations, Zambia, home to the towering Victoria Falls and the bustling capital city, Lusaka. Enjoy a visit to Botswana, known for its pristine natural beauty and stunning southern African wildlife. We travel in comfort with luxury accommodations, a variety of fun activities, and delicious dining. We do service with charitable work at a school and an orphanage, and we expand our horizons with cultural and historical excursions. To sign up now before our March 20th deadline, please call African Focus Incorporated at 310-676-7300. That's 310-676-7300. Or check out africanfocus.org. Whether it's in the community or traveling the globe, we move as family. African Focus and KBLA Talk 1580. Let's go.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, indeed. I thank you. And today you're waking up with Dr. Melina Abdullah of Black Lives Matter Grassroots. She's the director of that. She's also, as I always forget to mention, an organizer with the California Faculty Association, a union member. And you mentioned Yvonne Wheeler, the president of the LA County Federation of Labor, which is 850,000 workers here in LA. She was on fire. She really was flowing at the Workers' Congress, and just her speaking and you know, just the whole program was powerful. Keith Ellison was there from Minnesota, the Attorney General there. He's running for re-election. He was there addressing the crowd. It was powerful, and David Huerta, who you mentioned, among others. But I hope that labor in general, not just here in LA County, but across the country, is getting a wake-up call, because I know there was some movement this last election towards a more conservative MAGA agenda, particularly from some of the not black union members. And I hope that what they're noticing is that this is such an anti-labor agenda that this administration has.
Yeah, I think they are noticing, but one of the challenges that we have is making sure that our labor movement and our unions represent our values, so that the answer is not necessarily just the who they consider to be viable Democrats against fascists, right? That the answer is actually pushing folks that advance our agenda, a labor agenda, a working class agenda.
Right. And keyword working class, for some reason, well, I think maybe the reasons are obvious, maybe they're not, that mainstream Democrats and definitely Republicans don't want to say poor people, and they don't want to say working class. They only say middle class. And it's, they always talk about suburban moms and these independent voters that I think are non-existent, because most independents are really Republicans who don't want to say it. I think this idea that we should cater to the sort of this right wing of the Democratic Party is the whole reason they keep getting their butts handed to them.
Yeah. I mean, we need candidates that people can get excited about. And, those who just say, I'm against Trump, well, in a lot of ways, those same kinds of Democrats are still for landlords and for the owners and for repressive business practices and for the overfunding of police. They're not for working class agendas. So we have to say, the answer to fascism is not just liberalism, or not just a toned down version of what the Republicans are. We need an alternative vision. And I think that many unions, especially mine, but California Faculty Association is explicitly a racial and social justice union. And you're starting to see more unions adopt that and be very clear that this is the agenda that we're for. And we can push candidates to speak to our agenda rather than capitulating to an agenda that's a kind of it's like light beer, right? It's still beer,
Sort of.
So,
right.
Yeah, I would rather actually, if you don't have beer, have the whole beer. Don't
Right.
pretend like it's not beer and it's beer. So we want to make sure that I just came up with that. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
But we want it to be. We want it to be something else. We want to be, at a time when ICE is separating families and wrestling babies from mama's arms and rounding people up. You're going to have Sister Chantel on in the 8 o'clock hour, rounding people up and throwing them in jail and in places that are really torture centers, known to be torture centers, right? When you have a regime that's saying that they're going to ban things like Black studies and, that they want the rents to go up, that he doesn't believe in affordability, the answer is, not just, we're going to make it so you can cobble some semblance of life together. It's that we can all have thriving lives. And here's where I'm going to connect what we talked about before, what we saw yesterday in that park. I love Black Women Are Divine, but I was thinking about it too, about why I love it so much. It's a vision. It's made tangible what the world can be. We can have a world that's beautiful, where children are flying kites, where, mamas are being loved on, where we're there with babies and great-great-grandmothers. We had great-great-grandmothers in that park, right? We can be together with all of our people and do it in really, really loving ways. And I think that we need to start advancing an agenda of our own, of a vision of a world where we can all actually have freedom and enjoy good food and health and all of those things together.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why it's helpful to look locally too in these times is for those wins and those moments of this is what we can do. The moments of things happening that are generally considered impossible, right? So the election, I think, in LA, we've had some victories. We've had the election of some progressives in local offices. We have seen the survival of the Black Student Achievement Plan, even under Trump, even under this assault on DEI. Now, we'll see how long they're able to hold up, but part of that is due to exactly what you said, which is the United Teachers being intentional about being an organization that's more than just there to get better benefits for teachers. It's also looking out for the children they teach and having a racial justice and social justice lens on everything they do.
And it's courageously steered by Black Lives Matter Los Angeles member Cecily Myert Cruz, who also built Black Lives Matter in schools nationally through the NEA. But it's based on this abolitionist frame that we can get rid of the things, we can completely get rid of the things that we don't need and build what we do need. And when you talk about BSAP, the Black Student Achievement Plan, I can't say enough, because I have a child who was personally saved by BSAP. So I'm so grateful to UTLA, but also to the children for what they birthed.
Yeah, right, because the children, the young people, high school students mostly are the ones that advocated and still are advocating, by the way. They're the ones that won't let it go, which is great, because, we've seen, investors and investment funds and foundations and universities preemptively capitulate and bow down to these anti-DEI directives, which are not the law, by the way. Those are executive orders. And the kids are like, no. The young people are stronger than the universities, the foundations, and many of these employers.
I love the audacity of the children. Like the young people, like you said, they'll just say no. I never used Nancy Reagan's phrase before, but the kids will just say no. That'll be the last time I cite, I quote Nancy Reagan. But, I remember when just a few years ago, LAUSD tried to have this racist do-rag ban. I don't know if you remember that. And we as the adults were going, oh, we're going to go to the school board and we're going to make public comment. We're going to write letters. And the kids were like, no, there will be no do-rag ban. And they just decided the next day everybody was going to wear do-rags. And that was the end of the do-rag ban in one day. And the young people said the same thing about school police. Like, they don't want police in their schools. They want therapists in their schools. They want nurses in their schools. They want college counselors in their schools. And that's what they are getting through the Black Student Achievement Plan, which continues to grow. It's now $175 million annual investment into Black children. And also, thank you to the organizers. Students Deserve is a phenomenal lead organizing body on this that is also student-led.
And, I mean, let's also give credit where credit is due. Black Lives Matter Grassroots plays a huge role in this as well.
Well, we are honored that our youth vanguard and many of us who are parents of LAUSD children have been at the front of the fight and continue to organize for BSAP, organize for our Black students in schools.
Yeah, I don't want to be on the wrong side of those youth organizers, boy. They do not play, and I love that for them. I really, really do. I am assuming, well, before I get to that, today is the angelversary of Latasha Harlins. And sometimes, you know, that's been such a long time, it's easy to forget and not say her name, but I know that her murder was part of what set off the civil unrest of 1992. And as a little kid, you know, we're talking about the youth organizers and protecting the babies. I think it is important to remember her on this day.
Yes, Latasha Harlins. We absolutely say her name and lift her family. One of the things that we know in working with families is there's never a moment when it's done. It's never done. It's never done. You never forget the theft of your child's life.
No, of course you wouldn't, even if the world moves on and the news cycle is so fast now. We say her name. She was shot in a liquor store by a liquor store owner while trying to buy some orange juice. And she was just 15 years old. So that was in 1991 on this day. What I was going to say, speaking of the civil unrest, is that I'm assuming the Wednesday protest marches on this week.
Yes, every Wednesday we're in front of the Hall of Injustice, right in front of the terrible district attorney's office, Nathan Hockman's office, who we got to get out of there. We got to get him out of there. So 211 West Temple. Every Wednesday we're there at 4 o'clock. We encourage everybody to join us. So yesterday we got filled, we got restored. Now that's so that we can keep up with the fight. So we'll be there again. We'll also be there tomorrow at the Los Angeles Police Commission meeting, where we're saying also that terrible police chief, Jim McDonnell, who is a collaborator with ICE, Jim McDonnell, who's a collaborator with ICE, he got to go. He got to go. He misled the LAPD to a 70% increase in police shootings, and Jim McDonnell absolutely must go. So that's tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. We'll be at 100 West 1st Street, and then Wednesday at 4 p.m. we'll be at 211 West Temple. We want to encourage everybody to come out, and if they follow BLM Los Angeles on Instagram, all of that is posted, as well as blmla.org is our website.
Yeah, I was hopeful that there might be some movement around Jim McDonnell when he came out and said he wasn't going to enforce that anti-mask law of the state and the county because he thought it wasn't well thought out, and lawmakers actually started repeating some of the things we've been saying here for a long time. And then the courts overturned that mask ban, and so he kind of got off the hook with that. But I'm hoping that started to make some lawmakers think, you know, what we've been saying, which is that this man is not on board with protecting the citizens of LA County from LA City, I forget he's not sheriff anymore, LA City, from federal agents or anyone else that comes at us from the law enforcement side.
Right, and he has the blood of Keith Porter on his hands. Right, if you want to talk about an ICE collaborator, the community handed him the killer on a silver platter. They handed him Brian Palacios on a silver platter. They named him. Brian Palacios is an abuser. He's a gun offender. He's all of these things, and he stole the life of Black Angelino Keith Porter. We handed him to the chief of police on a silver platter, and Jim McDonnell has refused to make an arrest in the murder of Keith Porter. Keith Porter was the first U.S. citizen to be killed by ICE. He was killed on New Year's Eve. And we've gone there over and over again with Janae Tyler, who's also one of the leaders of BSAP and a school worker and a lover of our children. But she is Keith Porter's cousin. And we've gone there over and over and demanded that the police chief do the right thing. He's refused. And we got to remember that the police commission is supposed to hold the chief accountable. The mayor is supposed to hold the chief accountable. And if the chief won't do what he needs to do, then, you know, these bodies that oversee him, the mayor that oversees him, the city council that oversees him, should remove him. And so meet us on Tuesday to say Jim McDonnell must go.
800-920-1580. That's the number if you want to weigh in. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
You are the architect of your own legacy, but you don't have to build it alone. I'm Lisanne Basquiat, a board-certified NLP expert and legacy healing strategist. I've built the Shaping Freedom platform to give you the exact tools you need to evolve. From my signature podcast and Lounging with Lisanne meditations to our intentional candles and journals. Stop living on autopilot. Visit shapingfreedom.com to access the teachings and tools you deserve for you and your family. Your evolution begins at shapingfreedom.com.
Heading out of town this spring? Metro makes getting to LAX easier than ever. Just take the C or K train lines to the new LAX Metro Transit Center. Then catch a free shuttle straight to your terminal. Easy, affordable, stress-free. Travel smart. Go Metro.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
You belong here. We're glad you are here. Dr. Melina Abdullah is here, and you are, Dr. Abdullah, of course, part of the Women's History Month KBLA Talk 1580 Women's Takeover. We're taking over the station on a week from Friday. All day long, we'll be broadcasting nothing but women on the mic. And you are one of those women. So that's going to be exciting. You'll have 2 days in a row on the radio.
What an honor.
Yeah.
What an honor. What an honor. It's gonna be great. And some of the powerful women, of course, are you, Amanda Seals, Angela Reddick Wright, so many great voices. March 27th is also the angelversary of Waukesha Wilson, so we'll definitely be lifting her up.
Yeah, I thought that was fitting too. I mean, that it was her angelversary, Waukesha Wilson. For those not familiar, had her life stolen inside of the Metropolitan Jail, which is under LAPD, and her the theft of her life and the activism of her family, along with Black Lives Matter Grassroots, actually led to a new law here in the state of California, which was recently went into effect, I think, at the end of 2025. Is that right?
Yeah, October 2025. Grateful to Isaac Bryan for authoring Waukesha's Law, the first law in the state of California named after a Black woman, which requires 24-hour notification if someone is seriously injured or killed inside a detention center or jail.
Yeah. Well, and, shout out to, really tribute to her family and to you for not letting up and at least making some policy come out of that family's pain. I know.
And that was, let me say, that was the family. You don't want to get on the wrong side of Sheila Hines and Lisa Hines. So,
yeah.
So this has been a 10-year fight, and we are so grateful that they're in this world and in this movement.
Yeah, they really put in the work. So did you. It was nice to see yesterday folks snuck around behind your back and honored you during Black Women Are Divine.
Honored me with a new pair of tennis shoes. They said, "Mama, stop wearing them shoes." So honored me with a new pair of tennis shoes, but also it was just so beautiful, and I'm grateful to all of them for doing that.
Yeah, well, people, we always talk about giving people their flowers while they're here and doing the work, and I think it's easy for us to sort of take people like yourself for granted, right? You're out here protesting over here, protesting over there, flying over here, and helping other people organize. So I was glad to see folks step up and show you some love. We got 60 seconds here, Doc. How you want to spend them?
Just need everybody to hop in this fight. Honoring Breonna Taylor, honoring LaTasha Harlins, honoring Waukesha Wilson means doing the work to make sure that our girls, our daughters, our nieces, and all of our people are protected. And so we need to organize to do that. So follow BLM Los Angeles on Instagram and BLM Grassroots, which is Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter Grassroots is Black Lives Matter. So please plug in. And thank you, Dominique.
Thank you, Dr. Melina Abdullah. Travel smooth. Getting our little airport announcement. That's what I'm talking about. This woman never stops moving, so it's nice that she got her flowers at Black Women Are Divine. We have our Mindful Monday coming up next. We're going to get ourselves together, do a little guided meditation, affirmation, and all of that good stuff. That is happening next, and the phone lines are going to be wide open for you to call 800-920-1580. They always are, but once we do our Mindful Monday, we can talk about the Oscars. Oh, I got a thing or two to say about a thing or two. Congratulations going out to Michael B. Jordan and ... More straight ahead on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. The film Sinners has won Best Original Screenplay at the 98th Academy Awards. Director Ryan Coogler accepted the honor.
I want to thank the Academy for thinking of our movie that came out almost a year ago. This is an incredible honor. I want to thank my fellow nominees. You guys, I want to thank y'all for the gifts that y'all movies were and for y'all friendship over the past years and months.
This is his first Oscar win after 3 nominations this year. Federal executive orders rolling back DEI requirements for agencies and federal contractors are disrupting Black hiring pipelines across a dozen major industries. The NAACP and Urban League have issued an emergency advisory urging Congress to launch hearings on what they call a major rollback of 50 years of economic progress. And HBCUs are in a funding crisis as key federal research grants and Department of Education streams freeze, while FAFSA failures disrupt the student pipeline. 10 campuses are now at immediate risk. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Visit Hard Rock Casino Tejon for the $500,000 Luck of the Irish BMW drawing. Drawings every Thursday in March. Hard Rock Casino Tejon, the closest casino to downtown LA. The excitement starts here at the new Hard Rock Casino Tejon.
Is this the This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
5 straight wins for the Lakers has moved them up to 3rd place in the Western Conference with 15 games left in the regular season. The Lakers are at Houston tonight. The Clippers are at home tonight against San Antonio. No word yet on Kawhi Leonard's status. He sprained his ankle in Saturday's loss to Sacramento. The UCLA women's basketball team joins undefeated UConn, Texas, and South Carolina as the top 4 seeds in the NCAA tournament. UCLA is the number 1 seed in the Sacramento Regional. The Bruins have a first-round game Saturday at Pauley Pavilion against California Baptist, champions of the Western Athletic Conference. The USC women's team got an at-large bid despite losing their last 4 games. USC is the number 9 seed in the Sacramento Regional. The Trojans play Clemson Saturday in Columbia, South Carolina. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Old-fashioned soul. Where you eating at? Hi, I'm Greg Doolin, inviting you to a special celebration of Women's History Month. Join KBLA Talk 1580 for its annual symposium, The State of Black Women in LA. Broadcast live from Doolin Soul Food on Crenshaw, Friday, March 27th, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., moderated by Dominique DePrima. And yes, breakfast is just $15.80. Come get fed twice. Your stomach and your mind will thank you. We'll see you Friday morning, March 27th, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. at Doolin Soul Food on Crenshaw for the State of Black Women in LA. Broadcast live only on KBLA Talk 15.